This model kit review is of the C-130 Hercules, and it is a 1/48 scale model by Italeri. It's a very large box. It shows some decals here for 4 different options, and it's going to be a large model. Looks like 62 centimeters. Shows you the decals here, and on the other side here, it also shows us the 4 different options for painting. So let's have a look inside. This is an enormous box and should be a very large model too. First thing we see here is this very large sheet of decals. It is absolutely enormous. It is very well printed. A lot of nice detail here. Looks like these are the common decals and then the different options for the different planes that you'd like to build. A lot of detail there. And our instructions, we will have a look at those in a little bit. Let's start taking out some of these sprues. Looks like we have a few of these pieces already. Well, looking here at our cargo bay area and the bulkheads, these are very nicely molded, a lot of surface detail. Some of the instrument panels, lots of detail here. And the inside is probably of the inside of the roof of the Hercules. A lot of detail and no flashing or mold lines. And here's some little pieces here. Got a seat. Very well molded and good details there. Here are our engine nacelles. We do see a little bit of the mold lines here. These are all raised panel lines, unfortunately. And here you can see our propellers, exhausts, and body panel here. Some of the bulkheads are, looks like part of the wheels. It's fairly well molded, these portions. So the rest of this. So here's our tailplane, enormous. So it gives you the idea of the size. Here's the inside of the cargo bay, and this looks like this is the ramp that'll come down. Looks like we have some pieces that are fallen out here. We'll have a look at those. And one more down over here. Looks like a little pitot tube. Here's our glass. It's decent molding. Well, looking at the sprue, this one is absolutely enormous. And you can see this is the right side of the fuselage. Unfortunately, has raised panel lines and no real rivet lines. This is the nose. This gives you an idea as to the size of the model. It's going to be a very large model. It is a very large plane. Here are our wings. Again, enormous. Look at the wheels. fair amount of surface detail, but all raised. And that part's coming off. It shows you the inside. It's a nice surface detail. Over here is the tail, again absolutely enormous, and the top part of the wings, and looks like our pilot seats. Let's have a look at our instructions here. So first of all, they show the parts listing as well as the colors needed. And looks like we start off with the cockpit and the nose wheel well. Then put together the rest of the cargo hold. And the inside of the fuselage. So it looks like we then put the fuselage together with the insides. We build the ramp. You can have it up or down. I'd rather have it down so you can see the details on the inside. And then you put together the landing gear and wheel covers. And the wings go together, tails go together, stabilize and so on, all get put together. And then here are the engines and propellers being put together. Those are then mounted, and then some additional body parts, including a refueling version, and then fuel tanks, and then our painting and decal guide. Fairly detailed listing here. This is for one of the British versions, and here's another British version. And here's an Italian version. And then here's the United States version. So all in all, a very detailed model. Only downside is the raised panel lines.